Hello everyone, Brad Logan alongside Jake Thompson here inside the indoor practice facility, the Manning Center on campus at Ole Miss. The first day of practice, the first day of media day. And Jake, you were at practice. Kind of some overall thoughts. I know a lot of people are interested in obviously the quarterback position, running position. The main thing, Austin Simmons, pretty controlling offense.
Yeah, no, I think if anybody had any doubts, Austin's the guy. He took most of the reps. Trinidad Chambliss, it appears, from our first day of 40 minutes of looking at his number 2. Probably the guy that will be the run package guy, as Lane was asked today, and doesn't anticipate Austin being much of the run package, which I feel like that's why Trinidad was brought in, was kind of be that barrier and keep him from getting hurt. But the passing game looked good. I mean, it's a lot of basically glorified 7-7 today, no pads or anything, but I liked what I saw out of the receiving room. The freshmen, all of them are here. Caleb Cunningham, got to see good looking more. And, obviously right now, Caleb Logan, who's tight end, working with him. But after just wrapping a media day and talking to some of his teammates, I feel like that might be like the Swiss Army knife of that offense. Once he gets a grasp of the playbook, he's going to be somebody that's going to move around and cause problems, which just lets Austin have a lot of options.
We were talking with Ben Garrett a moment ago, Michael Cass, and Michael actually asked the question we were all wondering about Caleb Logan in the tight end position. Luke Haas obviously out with an injury for an undisclosed amount of time. What are some positions that you're looking forward to seeing over the next couple of weeks, seeing how they evolve?
I think the running back room, I think on paper it looks good. There's a lot of depth there, but we got to see it now that Shekai Mills-Knight, freshman, is here now after not having spring. I think they need some bruisers in that room in terms of some guys that can just lower their head and go, and I think they got that with the healthy Logan Diggs and Juan Lacey and what he can do. And you got Thomas, who showed that at times last year. And going back to Mills-Knight, I think he's going to get some reps, but that running game was always that big question mark with the fiasco that it was last year at times. And but on defense, I didn't get to see much of it today just because they were all kind of doing a lot of position work. But what that secondary does, that's the big, I think, thing on the defensive side is what does that last level do, and how does it do it with a lot of fresh guys, a lot of new guys that are new to this system, the Pete Golding system. So that's the other area I'm excited to look at. And there's proven guys in linebacker and defensive line, but I just want to see how they do. What do they ask of Perkins? What more will he do? Will he be more of a linebacker? So will he be that hybrid on the end and then linebacker? Today he did a lot of linebacker work, so I think they're going to maybe balance that with do some someday and alternate that. But a lot of it is just see all the newness. It kind of feels like Christmas because there's so many new names. And as we've written about all summer, 4 returning starters combined from this team last year that was so experienced and veteran. And then you go from that to a lot of portal guys who maybe have experience elsewhere but don't have it at this level or in this office system.
We talked with Lane Kiffin and obviously the players inside there a moment ago, and the wide receiver room, Lane made mention that not only has probably the most depth, but is the most talented. There's a lot of talent in the wide receiver room.
Yeah, no, that's why they can have the luxury of being able to use Caleb, especially with Luke out with an injury, and don't know how long that will be for that. So I think the luxury, and Lane said that out wide, like I mentioned, is probably the most depth he's had. In the outside, slot, they've got some guys, but he really likes the outside. I'm ready to see what Harrison Wallace can do, what Deuce Alexander can do, Deshaun Stribling. There's so many guys, like kind of what I alluded to a minute ago, that have done it elsewhere, Penn State, Oklahoma State, at some high levels. But now you're going against some of these SEC defenses, and right off the bat, the second week. So how they gel this next month is going to be important. But I think Kiffin also said, not trying to put the cart in front of the horse, but in there when we talked to him, that the chemistry that Simmons started with the receivers in the summer might lead to the biggest strength of this team, is that bond that he's got with his receivers.
He's Jake Thompson. I'm Brad Logan. Stay tuned to Rebel Grove. That's part of the On3 community. Also, the Talk of Champions podcast network. Ben Garrett and Billy Embody had a terrific podcast earlier in the day after practice. And, of course, Chuck Brownsville and the practice report. It's all for you at Rebel Grove, a member of the On3 community. For Jake, I'm Brad here in the Manning Center. We'll talk to you soon at Rebel Grove and On3.